What's up, folks? This is the Millerhood Sports Podcast. I'm Mike. You might know me from such things as Millerhood Sports, also the Millerhood. I'm now in charge of Millerhood Sports. You might find that ironic because I don't know anything about sports, but I think that justifies me being in charge of sports because, let's face it, they're sports. No one cares. So what I'm going to do here, my role, if you will, is to, let's call it referee for these morons here when they fight and argue about sports. Because let's face it, they're going to. Probably about the Dolphins or the Patriots. Who likes the Jets? It's Richard.
I don't like the
I think
Jets.
Nick
I do
likes
not
the
like
Bills
the
or
Jets.
something. Pretty sure Nick's a fan of wrestling. Who cares? I don't care. But so tonight we're going to talk about some things. I've got a list of things I want to talk about, guys. I actually looked up some stuff.
All right, cool.
Some sports.
Sports.
Got a list here on my phone of topics. It was weird. My computer didn't know what to do with itself when I was looking up sports. It wasn't used to it. Nothing popped up in my Google bar. It didn't know what to look at. It didn't know what I was trying to do.
Huh.
There was no recommendations for me. It's like, what are you doing? Siri didn't know what I was doing. It was weird. It was weird. Siri asked me if my computer got stolen. It was weird. It was a whole thing. I had to call Apple. Anyway.
I'm glad you got that worked out.
I did. It was me, guys. It was me. I had to tell him. So topic number one. So apparently, Antonio Brown.
AB.
Apparently, word has it, he's been trying out for the Seahawks. Apparently, also, he photoshopped a jersey of the Ravens on himself, and that's been going around. But apparently, there's no chance he's going to the Ravens. But
oh, no?
Photoshop jersey, a Photoshop picture of him with their jersey on around because but there is a chance that he might go to the Seahawks. Apparently, there's rumors that Wilson wants him on the Seahawks.
Yes.
We don't know. I don't know, nor do I care. But I know you two do. So let's get your opinions on it, shall we, boys? Richard, what say you about Antonio Brown, the former Patriot, former Pittsburgh Steeler, going to the Seahawks?
He was a Patriot for a day.
For a game.
He was a Patriot for a day, so let's not call him a former Patriot. Secondly, AB to the Ravens would be insane because that offense is already stacked. His cousin, Hollywood Brown, is already there. So that would be insane. But
Hollywood?
Giving Russell Wilson a wide receiver the caliber of Antonio Brown is pretty incredible. He has never had somebody that good to throw to. And he's the best quarterback in the NFL. I don't care what you say, my homies. Russell Wilson's better. All right? I think Russell Wilson is just a little better than Patrick Mahomes. Give Russell Wilson Andy Reid and a legitimate running game and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. Let's see what Russell Wilson does. Russell Wilson is the best football player in the NFL. He's the best quarterback. And if you give him Antonio Brown, move over San Francisco 49ers. I think it makes the Seahawks a lot better.
I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say that he throws the ball.
No. Antonio Brown is a wide receiver.
No, you said let's see what Wilson will do. I'm pretty sure he'll just throw the ball.
Yeah, he will throw it very well. Russell Wilson, best quarterback in NFL. Absolutely. No question.
I think anyone who gets AB, whether it be the Seahawks or any other team, is an upgrade. If Antonio Brown had gotten off the crazy wagon, because he's been on it for quite a bit. So I don't know. It's a gamble getting someone like that. Honestly, if the Seahawks get Antonio Brown, that's going to be a huge get just because of how good AB is.
He's so good.
He is. He really is. That's why I was super excited when he went to the Patriots last year, but he's crazy. So if you're getting AB, you're getting his crazy. If he's gotten help for it and he's starting to get better, then yeah, obviously. But you have to give him like a mental check before you do anything else.
What is it? Look, I mean, the guy learned his lesson. I mean, I don't. Isn't this supposed to be the country of second and third chances? I mean, seriously, the guy. Now, granted, if the guy wasn't absolutely insanely good, I don't know that anybody would give him a second chance, if you're being totally honest. But at the same time, it's not just like his mental health. He did some really bad things. Like he took a video of him screaming at his child's mother in front of police officers. Like, it was a pretty big deal. All right. And so it's not like it was just, he had a bad day. I mean, the guy's he had some legitimate issues. But if he worked through those and he's in a better headspace now, I mean, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with giving somebody a second chance.
Yeah, obviously. That's why I said, if he's better, then that's an amazing get. So I would just make sure that, he's ready to go through this, fully and he's prepared.
Okay, cool. So I don't know.
So we're down for AB going to the Seahawks.
I think so.
I think that'd be amazing for the Seahawks. I mean, the Patriots have to face the Seahawks this year, so it would obviously suck. But yeah, I think that'd be a great game to watch.
The Dolphins play the Seahawks in South Beach, so that would be a very cool game to go to.
Don't these teams play each other every year?
No, the Dolphins don't play the Seahawks every year.
Well, that seems kind of stupid. Shouldn't we play each other every year?
No, because the NFL is set up in divisions. The Seahawks are in the NFC West. The Dolphins are in the AFC
Yeah, no one cares.
East.
Next topic. No one cares. Shut up. No one cares that much. No one cares. Anyway, next topic. So this one might interest you, Richard. Also on you, Nick. So apparently the ESPN, the sports network, I guess.
Yep, the mothership.
ESPN, if you will.
ESPN.
So apparently ESPN, they did a little list thing where they ranked the top 5 worst NFL teams in the last decade.
Okay.
So just wanted to get your sports guy's opinion on these top 5 worst NFL teams of the last decade. That's from now, 10 years ago.
What are they? What's their list?
Hold your horses. Let me go. So number 5, you have the 2010 Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 4, you have the 2019 Miami Dolphins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty sure that was one of Richard's favorite sports memories, the 2019 Miami Dolphins.
Hey, that 2019 Miami Dolphins team went up to Foxborough, Massachusetts, and defeated the New England Patriots. So,
But it wasn't enough to not get them on the list of worst team.
okay,
Number 4, though.
First half of the year, in the first 7 games, maybe. But, dude, the last half of the year, that was not the worst team in the NFL.
It wasn't
not
enough
by a mile.
It wasn't enough to get them off that list. Number 4, they almost got off the list.
So what's the other team?
So number 3, you have the 2013 Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
Richard doesn't agree.
That's just random. I mean, they've been like a mediocre team forever, but I mean, I don't know about like.
Oh, shots
Plus,
fired.
in like 2017, they were in the AFC Championship game.
It's the 2013, but it's not the same year. You can't.
Yeah, so is that to Blaine Gabbert? Is that Blaine Gabbert or is that Mike Glennon?
I don't know.
I don't know. Whatever.
So
At
number 2, you have the 2012 Kansas City Chiefs.
Wait, come on now. Listen.
Oh, you still you have the Browns.
Where are the Browns?
Hey,
Who's number 1? Who's number 1?
Oh, that's where it gets better. You got a twofer on this list.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Number 1, worst NFL team in the last decade is the 2018 Arizona Cardinals.
That doesn't make any sense. The Josh Rosen Cardinals, admittedly, very bad. Okay, that's fine. But maybe they should be number 4. But those top 2 slots, I don't even know if it's my turn to talk. This is ridiculous. Those top 2 slots should be taken up by the 2016 and 2017 Cleveland Browns. You know why? Tell them, Nick. Nick knows why.
That's because in one, they literally only won one game.
In 2 years.
And then the other season, they didn't win any. So the fact that you don't have the Cleveland Browns in the first slot, okay, not even that, okay, just the Cleveland Browns should be in most of the slots because that's how bad they are. But I would also put the Lions. There was a year, I cannot remember which, where –
I think that was pre-2010 when the Lions went 0-16.
Right. May have been 2009. Either way, they're also a very bad team.
Yeah, but I mean, this is supposed to be like the worst of the worst. Like, I don't see how you have a team that goes 1-31. So over the course of 2 straight seasons, they won 1 game. Okay. Yeah. And you're telling me there's another team that's worse than that? How are the Cardinals? Look, I know the Josh Rosen Cardinals were not very good, okay? They made them the number 1 pick in the draft, and that's why they got Kyler Murray now. But to say that Cardinal team was worse than those Browns teams didn't even win a game. That's insane.
Didn't Rosen go to the Dolphins?
Rosen got traded to the Dolphins the following year.
Look at that. I knew something, folks. Look at that.
So technically, Josh Rosen's on this list twice.
I don't understand ESPN not putting the Browns. I think it's like pity. Oh, the Browns suck so much. We're not going to put you on our list.
No, I don't know. It's because a Cleveland fan made the list. That's what it is. It's stupid. This list is stupid.
So you hear this, folks. You heard it here. I don't know if any of you know this, but I've known these two, let's say, well, at least Nick's whole life. I've never heard them agree on anything.
Hey, so far we're 2 for 2. We agree on AB going.
Agreed on both of these things so far, but I'm pretty sure that's about to end. They've emphatically agreed on both of these topics, especially this last one. But this next one, they are not going to agree. I guarantee it.
All right, what do you got?
The topic I have is Chris Sims' top 40 QBs. And we're going to go with the top 5 and the bottom 5. We'll start with the bottom 5.
Oh.
The bottom 5. So at number 40, this is where they're not going to agree, folks. Because, so the Miami Dolphins just drafted a gentleman by the name of Tua Tagovailoa. And they have him at number 40, bottom of the barrel. Maybe they did it because he's recent, new, rookie, maybe. Maybe they just don't see the potential. Maybe he sucks. I don't know. I don't really care. But I know Richard does. So Richard, what do you say about that? That you're knight in shining armor, the angel, Miami Angel, the one that could bring the Dolphins back.
That's right. That's right.
What the second miracle to happen to Miami, if you will. What do you say about him being in dead last?
I think it's stupid. I think it's stupid.
Hey, Richard,
Because
stupid?
I do think it's – what are the other five? List number 30. What's the 35 through 40? What are the people that are supposedly better than Tua? What's the list?
All right. At 39, you have Dwayne Haskins from the Washington Redskins.
Hold up. Listen, seriously. Like, if you're telling me if we were drafting a team right now, anybody would take Dwayne Haskins over Tua right now. I don't think so.
I'll take your word on it. I don't know.
All right, what's 38?
38, you have Mitchell Trubisky of the Chicago Bears. The Bears.
Are you kidding me?
He's a Bear. Chicago.
Mitchell Trubisky? Okay, what's 37?
37, you have Justin Herbert from the Chargers. With a name like Herbert, how can you go wrong?
He's also a rookie.
So where's the justification for putting Justin Herbert above Tua? Justin Herbert he's a rookie. If the argument against Tua is that he hasn't played in the NFL yet, and that's why you're putting these NFL quarterbacks ahead of him, why is Justin Herbert ahead of him?
Well,
Also, Joe Burrow's way up there. Why is Joe Burrow up there? Joe Burrow is basically the same thing as Tua, except less successful.
I have a couple things. I don't know. I've listened to the podcast a couple times, specifically the 35 to 41, because he did it in little segments. I don't know why he had to stretch this out for so freaking long, Chris Sims, but whatever.
Hold on.
Which podcast? That awesome podcast, the Millerhood Sports podcast?
It's a different one. It's a different one.
The fact is, okay, he doesn't mention it. At least I don't think he did. Maybe he did. Again, it just the way the way he incremented his podcast was stupid. But he did. Tua just came off an injury, like a season-ending injury where he had to get surgery, I believe. Okay. And he has not played in the NFL yet. Now, don't get me wrong. Mitchell Trubisky should not be on this list. He should not be. He's about to get replaced by Nick Foles, a guy who beat the Patriots as a backup in the Super Bowl. Hurts a little bit, I know. Hurts me a little bit. It doesn't hurt anybody else. So I wouldn't put him on this list. The Dwayne Haskins, I'm pretty sure he's probably going to be a bust. So I would put Tua higher, but there are reasons for putting Tua so low. I also wouldn't put Joe Burrow as high as he was, just because, again, he's a rookie. And rookies should not be really high because we have not seen them play an actual NFL game. So that's my point on it.
The reason that Tua is so low is because he knows it's ridiculous and it will cause a stir and make people look at his stupid list.
But those over-unders.
Whatever.
If you're a gambling man. I'm not. I don't recommend
It has absolutely nothing to do with a top 40 quarterback list. It's nothing at all.
Anyway, so at number 37, no, he did number 37. Yeah, there's Herbert. So at number 36, you have Taysom Hill.
Come on, Nick. Come on.
States.
Look, he's being called the heir apparent to Drew Brees. Whether he is or not, that's what he's being called.
Then why did they sign Jameis Winston? Why did they sign Jameis Winston if they're so confident in Taysom Hill?
I don't know why they.
Why did they have Teddy Bridgewater if they're so confident in Taysom Hill? okay? You're going to tell me this kick returner is a better quarterback than Tua Tagovailoa? Oh, my goodness.
What's wrong with having options?
Ridiculous.
They drafted Aaron Rodgers to the Packers, and they still had Brett Favre. So
that's what are you talking about?
I'm just saying, give them
They
time.
didn't draft somebody. They didn't say, we love Taysom Hill so much, we're going to take him in the first round of the draft, Nick.
Yeah.
Just saying, they got him, okay? Maybe he just needs time. And I got news for you. I don't think Jameis Winston, who's also on this list, shouldn't be on this list either.
Maybe Tua just needs time.
That's ridiculous. Nick has this irrational hatred for Jameis Winston. I don't know what it is. I don't understand it. Maybe he feels like if Jameis Winston had played a little bit better, he wouldn't have lost Tom Brady to the Buccaneers. And so all of his I lost Brady hatred gets thrown at Jameis Winston. But Jameis Winston threw for 30 touchdowns and 5,000 yards last year.
How
And
many interceptions?
Yeah, but there's a long list of Hall of Fame quarterbacks that have thrown 27 to 30 interceptions in a single season. It doesn't matter, Nick. You're making a bigger deal out of it than it really is.
Okay,
Funny.
are you going to tell me that Jameis Winston has put up Hall of Fame numbers his entire career?
That's not what I said.
No, I'm asking you that because if you're going to compare him to Hall of Famers who put up these insane numbers, okay,
No,
he has to have at least – let me talk here. I let you talk.
He said that.
Okay? Allow me to say this. He has to – you can sit there and say, okay, he put up a 33 and 30 season, 33 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. That means, okay, if you're going to compare him to Hall of Famers, then over the next couple of years, wherever he plays, it might be the Saints. Drew Brees might retire next year. He might be able to play. It might be somewhere else. But I say this. He needs to be able to put up those Hall of Fame numbers if you're going to compare him to Hall of Famers.
Okay, are you done now with your ridiculous, absolutely meaningless statement? Because that's not what I said. I didn't say that Jameis Winston is a Hall of Famer. You are zoning in and focusing on one statistic and using it as validation to completely discredit his talent as a whole. I am just taking that logic that you are applying to him and saying you, Nick, should then apply the same logic to these other quarterbacks who happen to be in the Hall of Fame. And just in case it's lost on you, I'm saying that to indicate the ridiculous nature of what you're saying.
Those Hall of Fame quarterbacks who put up those like seasons, okay, those were anomalies. I don't think this was an anomaly for Jameis Winston.
Okay, but Nick, what I'm saying is you're using one statistic to say no, he's garbage. It's just like the Marvin Lewis conversation all over again. The guy wins the division like 5 straight years, goes to the playoffs 5 straight years, and you're like, he's garbage.
He didn't win
He's garbage.
He didn't win the division 5 straight years. I looked
well,
up
he maybe not 5 straight years, but he won the division he won the division 5 times.
And didn't win one playoff game.
I have 5.
Okay. The problem is you have a smug rose-colored glasses way of looking at things because you just hopped on the bandwagon for the Patriots at the right time. That's not normal. Making the playoffs 5 times is pretty good. Throwing for 5,000 yards is pretty good.
Back
okay.
Then, back then, but I think it's easy to throw 5,000 yards in this day and age.
How many people threw for 5,000 yards last year, Nick?
I don't know. Probably not a lot. But
I'm
just saying.
One guy. Anyways.
Okay. Where were the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the playoff race? Where were they?
I don't know. Probably not too far behind the Patriots.
I bet Nick's gonna have some good things to say about the Bucks here soon.
Oh, he's a Bucks fan now. Tampa Bay all the way.
Yeah. Do they play the Patriots this year?
No.
They don't. That would be so good if they did.
It would be hilarious. I think Nick's head would explode.
I'd be rooting for him to lose.
No, you wouldn't. He'd be voting for Tom Brady and Gronkowski. I don't think you'd know what to do.
I would enjoy the game. I'd root for them to lose, though.
So the top 5 of this list, I'm going to go ahead and say these before you two can argue. So you're going to sit there like good little boys and shut up. At number 5, you have Lamar Jackson. At number 4, you have Deshaun Watson. At number 3, you have Aaron Rodgers. At 2, you have Russell Wilson. And 1, you have Patrick Mahomes. What say you?
I would not put Aaron Rodgers this high in his career as it is. I just wouldn't. He's about to get replaced. My quarterback they drafted in the first round, so I definitely wouldn't put him.
Well, I mean, this is one man's opinion, so.
Yeah, that's all.
Chris Sims.
Other than that, I think I'd have Lamar Jackson at his place. I would put him at 3. I like Deshaun Watson at 4. Maybe I would switch. I think Deshaun Watson might be better, but I think they have it right. Patrick Mahomes has been the best. As much as I hate to say it, he's been the best quarterback for the past couple of years. So,
Wow. I've never heard Nick say that. I bet you if Brady was still on the Patriots, he wouldn't say that.
That's probably true, Michael. Probably true.
Look at his face. He's like, yeah, you're right.
Oh, it's going to be a weird season for me. But, yeah, Patrick Mahomes has been amazing for the past 2 years. So having him at number 1 makes sense. Russell Wilson is still really good. Having him at number 2 also makes sense. The top of his list makes more sense than the bottom. So
yes, it does. I think I agree with everything except I'd swap out Carson Wentz and Aaron Rodgers. I like Deshaun Watson a lot. I think Aaron Rodgers is just he's a little slow to get the ball off now for some reason. You know what I mean? But I think Carson Wentz is really good. I think if Lamar Jackson has another season like he had last year, I think he would then be 3 right after Wilson and Mahomes. And I think Mahomes and Wilson are really 1A and 1B, to be totally honest. I mean, they're both just insanely good. Mahomes is a lot younger, though, so that's better if you're building a team. So, but I really think that the top 5, I got no problems with it, except maybe I think I'd put Carson Wentz in there. And again, I would only put Carson Wentz ahead of Lamar Jackson based purely on experience.
So I do have one more topic.
Okay.
So I'm not a fan of sports, but I do like making fun of people who are. No, maybe not people, just you two, really. I just like making fun of you two. But I know Nick here. He happens to be a big fan of wrestling. And to go farther, it happens to be about his favorite man in tights, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho had a match against Orange Cassidy. And you know what happened? Chris Jericho lost. I guess making Orange Cassidy better than Chris Jericho. You know, if it was written that way, because it's all fake. So my question is, does that make Orange Cassidy better than Chris Jericho? Richard, what do you say on the topic?
Michael, thank you for asking. Yes, I think it does. And I think the evidence will show that Chris Jericho is old and looks ridiculous.
In tights?
And yes, he was wearing just like the tightest things he could possibly find. Just looked completely ridiculous. And just standing there looking like a moron, and Orange Cassidy just majestically flies through the air and smashes his elbow into his face and basically takes him down. Just embarrassed Chris Jericho. I think it's clear that Orange Cassidy's obviously way better than Chris Jericho, who, like I said, is old and looks ridiculous.
Past his prime.
Oh gosh, yeah. Just he's so far past his prime.
Wow.
Like his prime was like way back in the day, Walls of Jericho, Y2J type days. You know what I mean? That's probably his prime, but I mean he's so far past it.
What was that? Hold on. What was that?
I would say Orange Cassidy is just superior to Chris Jericho in every way.
Every way. Oh. Okay.
As a wrestler, as an entertainer, probably just as a man.
So we've heard what Richard had to say on it, that delightful words of, I guess, discouragement that he had to say, I guess. Hey, I don't care, Richard. I don't care. But Nick, what do you have to say? I mean, is your favorite wrestler? What is your take?
Well, my take on it is that I think he's wrong, Rich.
Well, I mean, that's all the time we have tonight, folks. I mean, Nick has apparently just not he's not talking anymore. Apparently, he has nothing to say on the matter. But that's all the time we have tonight, folks. Thank you for joining us. Like, comment, subscribe, share it if you will. Leave us a review if you're listening on the podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Join us next week for more sports stuff that no one cares about. I'm Mike, and I'm in charge of this now, so we'll see what happens next week, folks. Millerhood Sports out.